That's real. Ain't no coincidences. I see it in everything now to the point where I be feeling like paranoid. I be like, come
Hmm.
on now, you can't think of everything. Got to be symbolism.
Well, stop telling yourself that because that's where the paranoia comes from.
Mm.
If you go back to Elijah Muhammad said there's been thousands and thousands and thousands of signs. This shit is about to be a wrap. Elijah Muhammad said that back in the 60s,
Mm.
right? So how many more signs has been given to us since then? So it's a lot of signs that we haven't been reading. We just been letting them go past, trying to fit into the society that was designed to oppress us.
Mm. Yep, put a cage on my mind, basically. Because once I remove that prison of a thought process, then I'm able to really tap in and allow that to become a part of my intuition. But sometimes, like I said, because I'm like, damn, that can't be a sign. Because like literally, it's like all day numbers. On top of that, it's like numbers to the point where I don't even look up the meaning of numbers anymore because I know them all by heart.
Hmm. So that's when you start using numerology and gematria in real time, and that even it fines tune the message. So the message becomes easier to assimilate when you understand what numbers mean.
Mm.
Because this is why you wear a watch. This is why you're supposed to wear a watch. We got cameras on our phone. I mean, clocks on our phone now, because the every second of the day is a new set of numbers. Think about that. Every second of the day is a new set of numbers.
Mm.
And those same numbers several times a day are anagrams of one another. Those are what you call connection points, right? So 24 hours in a day, but 12 months in a year,
Mm-hmm.
right? So they say it's one day to the year. That means it took a whole year for it to happen. So in 12 and 24 is 36, and 3 and 6 is 9, and that's the turnaround.
Right. And 12 is 3.
Mm-hmm.
24 is 6. And you add
Yep.
them together, then you get 9.
Yep.
Dang.
It got to be able to work frontwards and backwards in order for it to fit into an accurate read, right? So the 369 is a code. It's a universal code for turning something around, or when you get to what we call 3-point convergence, that's GPS. So you need 3 points of convergence in order to get past the 2-point coincidence factor. Anything more than 2 is no longer coincidence. That means that pay attention. This is a real sign,
Mm.
right? That's how GPS need 3 points of convergence to get you to your location.
What do they call it? Uh,
Triangulation.
triangulation. There it is. Yep.
Mm-hmm. So that's why when you see, like when I watch a tarot card reader, I can read more into the cards than she reading, because I'm starting with how long did it take her to do this read? What do those numbers mean?
Mm.
Okay. Now, what's the title of the spread? Right? Because that's the theme. That's the mission statement. Right? So the mission, under the mission statements, is the details of the mission. Right? We call it the question and answer, or the query and the response. The universe is telling us something. We use an oracle means to focus the energy in, like lights going through a magnifying glass, until we can explain clearly what it is that we see. The more things that we know the meaning of, the more accurate we can get an oracle read. What this question right here, the answer to that is, that was before the
can't talk to you how I can talk to them. And then let the people who close to you relay it to you. You got a problem with me, so let me call a man. Since you don't respect me enough to talk to me like a woman, I'm going to call a man and you talk to him like that. I bet you won't. He got an attitude. He stormed off. It was crazy. But I see what you said about all skin
Did he
folks and
snap
kin
his
folks.
fingers? Did he snap his fingers in
No,
the
he did
zigzag
this.
motion
He
on
was
his
doing
rap?
this. He was doing this. No, this is what I'm like. Are you clapping at me? I'm like, yeah, no. What you got to do is stop talking to me like you crazy boy. I was like, I'm gonna call a guy and you can talk to him. He's like, no, I'm gonna call my sisters. I'm like, okay, you go and do that. All skin folks, not kin folk, and they showing their colors. If you listen close, even the women that aren't on your side, they show
gonna
their
tell
colors immediately.
They gonna tell you.
It's not a compliment to tell anybody that, oh, I'm jealous of that. Like, that's not a compliment. You speak.
Soon as I hear the word jealous, it's a red flag to me. Dirty motherfuckers is on their way.
Pretty much.
Look,
that's my question. The Pope in China, why is he in jail? Did you hear
the
that?
Pope?
Yeah, one of the popes, one of the priests, like one of their grand priests, is in jail.
Probably for being a fag. Probably touching on little boys. I don't know. I didn't see nothing about it. But 9 out of 10, if they true to form, he probably was touching on one of them little Japanese boys over there, and to keep the Yakuza and the samurai from beheading his motherfucking ass, they decided to lock his punk ass up, dress wearing son of a bitch.
I cannot. Okay, next question is, I am going about my tribe. Now, am I doing this because I'm trying to elect a leader? I don't feel like I have learned my craft enough to lead. So how many people should be in my matriarch to begin with? I don't want it to be too many. Right now, I have 4, and I feel like that's not a good number. I want it either 3, 6, or 9. What's a good number?
You already said you don't need me to answer it. You just got to accept the answer for yourself that you gave yourself, which is going to make you be more powerful than if I give you a number.
Okay.
Look, Big Mama be talking to y'all, and y'all be second guessing her. I don't second guess her. I know when she's talking to me. So look, listen to your heart. When you feel something, trust what you feel to guide you correctly. And the one thing about it, you are not allowed to lie to yourself for one reason. You don't know you fucking lying. So when you tell yourself you need the right answer, you got to give yourself the right answer, and you got to give yourself the time to let your higher self put the pieces together, and then you'll be going about your day, and then an answer occur to you with the reason.
Okay.
Right? So your power is the palm chakras. That's why they have you hold hands in church.
Okay.
Because the palm chakras, but you're not holding hands properly in the church in order to get the maximum effect of the chakra alignment. Because the fingers are supposed to be interlocked like this, and not the hands closed together like this. And the reason you interlocking the fingers is you have meridians at each fingertip. And then on the back of the hand, there's meridians that correspond to that. And then you got a chakra in your palm.
Yeah.
Right? So, like if you put your 2 hands together and lock them together, like that. When you hold hands with the sisters, hands up like that.
Okay.
Just like that. That's the proper technique. Now, you see where your fingertips is touching the back of your hand?
Yes.
Those are meridian to meridian connections.
Nice.
Okay, now, in the palm of your hands is a chakra, which is an open channel.
Okay. And
so
I can feel it.
Right. So when you and then you put your palms together in that position, and now y'all can move energy. If only one of y'all have to know how to move the energy.
That would be me.
Right. And whatever y'all put on y'all intentions, whatever it do, don't do, let it be nothing malicious.
Because I get it back threefold, right?
That shit coming so hard and fast, just wish for some good shit for somebody.
Okay.
Right. Now, intensify that by 10 by putting your feet on the grass in the soil.
I can make the sun come out, right? I've been practicing my butt off ever since
Yeah, all you gotta do
I
is
can
fucking
get the
smile.
sun.
You light the whole goddamn place up. You don't need
I
no
can make the
sun.
sun come out. Like, and another thing, because of all the electrical storms, I've been trying to tell a lot of people because somebody somewhere is like, oh, alkali water, drink a lot of alkali water. You don't need to be a battery right now. It's all spring water right now until the electrical storms stop. Because if you notice, if you are like vibrating high, it's burning you out. You're tired. You feel like you've ran a mile. It's the alkali water. Stop drinking it. Pause for a second. Spring water.
Or distilled.
Yeah, distilled. I
But
can't find distilled
so
water. Which one is better?
it's not. It don't work like that. You got different types of water. You got more different types of water than they want to tell you, and they all do something different.
Okay, now I was watching something where they were like, "Oh, water and oils are mixed, but it's a certain water that's like so
pH 11.
pH 11, pH 11." Why I ain't had no pen and paper sitting here with you, and I know better, and I left it. pH 11, and then I
I'm
need to
saving the
know.
lives. You can always come back to it.
And then there's another. How come I can't find anything on the gold that our bodies think is called penoline?
Because they don't want you to know it, because most of it is in cerebral spinal fluid. But they don't call it that when they talk about it. They call it colloidal gold or diatomic gold.
Colloidal gold, atomic gold. Okay. Next, I know I got like a million questions because I'm always trying to request you to get on live, and I'm like, yo, you don't never. And I got like a million questions for him. All right. Now, Age of Aquarius. Everybody keeps trying to say that it didn't start yet.
Started in 2012 on
Okay.
the Mayan calendar. The Mayan calendar never was changed from the closing of the age. So when you read Edgar Casey, he tell you that around the year, between the years 2012 to 2019, a great teacher was going to come on the scene and begin to teach the world. Um, Also, you can find the same prophecy in Nostradamus,
Mm-hmm.
right? So they know that the closing of the age is coming.
Okay.
Then you had the lady Blind Baba from whatever the fuck her name is from Russia, who gave the same prophecy. The eyes of three oracles having the same prophecy over a 2,000-year period is so far to impossible, and all three of them converge in under a 200-year period or 500-year period,
That's
right?
wild.
Right. So now a lot of the skeptics, just Bible thumpers, say that the only reason they all can agree on that prophecy is because there's biblical prophecy in Revelations, right?
Question.
But yeah,
When you're done, another question. Now, King James. King James's first book was a book on demons. I heard like they had
it was called the Book of Demonology.
yes. Now he was called something.
Demons are not what they told you they was. You was lied to about what a demon is.
He went back and sold out like the true like Moorish people for a seat at the throne, and that's how he got the name King James, right? Didn't he sell like all of like the secrets and flip it upside down to put it in the Bible?
No, it was already there. Constantine in 325 AD had a group of priests assemble the Bible. All King James did was commission the scholars of the day to render it from Latin because it had became a Septuagint Vulgate Bible. And they translated it from the Latin to the English, right? And then over the years, they translate directly from the Greek in the New Testament to English and from the Hebrew in the Old Testament in Egypt. In the Old Testament as they begin to revise it. So as they revised it, they didn't refer back to the Latin. They referred back to the Hebrew and the Greek.
Okay. So was the Latin one more? The Latin one was more true to self.
No, the Latin one was the one that King James had translated. It was originally in Hebrew and Greek text because the Nicene Council was so-called Hebrews and Greeks, but they was melanated like me and you.
All skin folk ain't kin folks. Okay, got that. Now, Next question. Manly P. Hall. His book on the secret teachings of all times.
Secret teachings of all ages.
Of all, yes. That book, I find that book is like a really good reference point to other books. I felt like he kept it like totally 100 in the book. Is there another book that would be comparable to that book?
Madame Blavatsky's work, the Theosophy, Isis Unveiled is one, and the Secret Doctrine is the other. And then you also got Rudolf Steiner's Anthroposophy that goes into a lot, give you a lot of reference works with it. Madame Blavatsky got reference volumes that separate from the book. That's a whole book.
Okay, so I'm gonna get that. That should be my first one as a matriarch to get that book. So I can start.
No, you should study. You should be looking at tribal structures, right? And you should be looking at okay, so the modern corporate structure, a corporation, all of the board members is the structure to set up the tribe.
Okay.
You assess the skill set of the people involved, and then you know what to make them a minister of.
That's what I'm trying to do right now. That's what I'm like, what craft do you have? What do you bring to the foreground? Now,
a lot of people don't know.
My 3 questions. Now, in your Emerald tablets, I kind of broke it down to there's one part like you have to ask people 3 questions. It's like being a gatekeeper. Who are you? What do you want, and where are you going? And depending on how they answer those questions will determine like their place in the tribe or if they should even be. Like, is there a better way?
Those are questions. Those are questions. You know what you just talked about, demonology?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give you an explanation about something. Let me get a drink.
Okay. Me too.
Okay. Let's say that your father was reading a book on demonology and applied the information to become successful, right?
Mm-hmm.
It worked because all the demon is a thought form, an egregore that was created a long time ago by priests to teach us how to access higher consciousness. And each one of the demons, you have to put them back on the shelf when you're done with them. If you don't, they come out in the next generation that's not using them. They get angry. You're not using it. And this is why you have to clean up the family tree. You have to be able to ask those 3 questions to the demon in order to put them in check.
But it's happening with people because I asked those 3 questions to people.
The same thing, because
what you mean?
The energy, right. So the same energy that goes into creating a personality by opening up demons of the mind, which is opening up apps basically for the human psyche, that was written a long time ago by people that understood the mind on a level that very few of us do it in this era.
Okay.
Right. So those are what you call watcher questions. Right. Women can diffuse a lot of hostile situations with those 3 questions.
They changed my life.
Yeah, you because even in the middle of guy might be coming to rape you, and when you ask him them 3 questions, he gets so fucking confused because you called him on his bullshit before it happened. So his psyche is telling him this is the wrong one to fuck with.
Very true. So in my library that I'm building for the from my yard, Rudolf Steiner's book, I need Madame Blavatsky's book, Isis Unveiled, and I need books on tribal structure. And I need to
now I'm gonna tell you a book that's going to fast track the setup of a tribe, but it's the book that's a manual for setting up a coven.
Okay.
Now, the name of the book is called A Magic Circle, and the name of the author is Yaj Nomalos.
Okay. Spell that.
Nomalos and Solomon spelled backwards. That's how you're going to know you got the right book.
Got it.
Now, remember this for all sisterhoods. The witches' books for setting up ceremonies. That's y'all shit. That's why they was murdering witches and setting them on fire, because these were the wise matriarchs that actually was able to use the powers of nature to keep them off the land. So whenever they found that they was teaching, that's when they struck the women. And they always used the woman to infiltrate them.
I'm a
And that's why they were
scribe.
doing rituals in secret.
I'm a generational scribe.
Mm-hmm.
Generational scribe. My family, Wausau tribe, the mound builders.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of my aunts, and a lot of my family. I'm in Jersey, and we go to Salem a lot and everything. And when I was in Salem, like something wild happened to me.
I was talking to the sister last night on the live, and she was in New Jersey, and we was talking. I was telling her that's the side of Shakur land over there. Anybody that get out of line when she send them goons at her, don't call me because I'm not sending no help.
I know.
Because she only gonna fuck the mothers up that's fucking with the babies. That's her number one thing. Because we can't come back to this shit. So the only way to not come back to it is to clean it up now.
Yeah.
Our children shouldn't have to fight this fight. This shit should be well cleaned up. My son, 8 years old, by the time he 18, he should be worried about how to spend all this goddamn money we done made.
Very true. No,
That should be the biggest worry he have in his life.
next question. The FBI just hired all of those black men.
Listen.
By the hundreds and thousands. What's going on?
So they are trying to matriculate them through different forms of the old government to FEMA. FEMA is short for female. The female is going to be the ones that's running FEMA.
Mm-hmm.
And they got a group of matriarch sisters from all communities across the land with experience in varying different fields, where this one might be in charge of animal rescue, right? This one might be in charge of disaster relief. This one might be in charge of reorganizing to feed the children.
Okay.
Right. You might have a sister that's a veteran. She's going to be part of the team that's working with the Wounded Warrior Project. Okay. Because they was doing so effectively well with the recovering soldiers that was coming home. They was doing better than the VA. All of the veteran affairs is going to be shifted over to that organization, and they're going to be heavily funded. Okay. Right? Because they understand, because it's ran by veterans that understand the struggle of the veterans. They understand. This is eventually going to phase out because we ain't going to be doing this war shit.
Thanks.
Right? But for right now, we have warriors that suffer and fought in these wars. And now we're going to be using them boots on the ground to help in the community to reorganize as we redistribute the wealth. Okay. So they bring these new recruits into all of these government agencies. All of these agencies are now defunct, been defunct for 3 years. Right? But they still using the template for a training tool to maximize the use of the experience of the aged ones who are leaving. Okay. Right? So you take what you need from the old system so you can transition into the new system, and you learn from the best people in the field with the best intentions to do the best job to give the people that American dream they lied to us about before they dropped this goddamn Plymouth Rock shit on our ass.
Now, another question. Is Trump with us or against us? Because he stole all the federal sealed documents and not giving them back.
Look, he ain't stole nothing. First of all, who loaded up his truck with the documents? Do you know? Mm-mm. The same motherfuckers who told the Department of Justice that the documents was missing. They was also in communication with Trump the whole time. And he was like, yeah, sure, come on, get whatever you need. But they weren't looking for that. That was a smoke screen. Right? Because now they agitating him to the point where all of the fraud shit that they trying to keep undercover, he gonna drop the bomb and expose all that shit.
He's so petty. I can see him doing that shit too. Like, oh, get you on, like, oh, everything with a seal on it. Put it in the car. Come on.
He been telling us, look, in his speeches, ever since January, he been saying the same goddamn thing. They didn't win the election. He keeps saying it. They didn't win the election.
I knew when they
We
took the
caught him in voter fraud.
it was around
Now,
the Capitol. Old boy had the black pawn on his body. They captured the flag. He had the Buffalo Soldier horns on. He freaking howled through the
I
halls.
did a whole I did a report on it as soon as it happened.
Where is
It's on
it?
my Facebook page.
I'm like, would you look at this? I'm like,
And I did a video on my Rod Hayes page about a couple of weeks before they took it down. That I was explaining to people occupying Pelosi's desk. And I showed him where he put in the public domain that he was sent by us.
Mm-hmm. Black pawn.
Right? And he told them that he was part of the QAnons. And he told them that he was in special forces in the United States Marines on special assignment. And then he went in there and kicked his feet up and planted the Old Glory, the flag of the land, behind the Admiralty flag to recover the jurisdiction.
Yes. I was like,
So that shifted us from Admiralty and maritime jurisdiction and put us back under the law of the land, which is the tribal laws that we had that predate the Constitution. Mm-hmm. But the Constitution has always been in effect ever since we've been here, because part of the chief becoming a chief, he used to have to remember each part of it, and not until it was totally memorized could he attain the office to be a lawgiver in the community, because the Constitution had to be known by heart, because it got to be in your heart.
Okay, with that, what's the significance of Trump pleading the fifth 44 times?
That was a message directly to Malik Angel Bay that he see you and he coming to get you.
I figured that. Nice.
The fifth is the 5-point star, Peace Stone Nation. 44 is Chief Malik Angel Bay angel number.
Nice. I figured that. Now,
so he was letting him know that when I say free Larry Hoover, I mean free motherfucking Chief Malik Angel Bay. Period. I don't just mean because my chief, he ain't the only one of the chiefs. And mama said ain't no big eyes and no little U's. Big mama said don't leave no stone unturned. So everywhere I see a chief in crisis, I'm going to fucking say something.
Okay.
And when I say something about one, it applies to all of them, whether they the male chiefs or the female chiefs. And we got more female chiefs than we got male chiefs.
Very true.
That's how we end up having a matriarchal society. I got 26 seconds.
Brittany Garner. What's the significance of her and why are they holding her? Who are they trying to exchange her for? They won't tell us what to exchange for. Like, who are they trying to exchange her for and why? They tricked her into going over there. I think that was a whole setup. And anyway, really? You're going to hold her and she's playing?
Skull and Bones, right?
Skull and Bones.
Mm-hmm.
Common denominator pops up.
Mm-hmm.
When you say Skull and Bones, you talking pirates.
Oh.
Occupied our land for millennia, for ages, eons, however the fuck they want to say it. But now this is the close of the age, and where they finally allowed the crown prince of heaven and earth to take the testers for the 50th galactic seat to be the God seat, male ruler God, with both the mitochondrial birthright from the motherline off of a parthogenic conception of the firstborn of the earthborn, baculate conception, clean birth child, right? So once they understood that shit had to be unraveled for a motherfucker to know who they is, and then I'm the only one unravel it, then it started making more sense to the people that's watching what's taking place. So the situation now becomes more relaxed, because when the Sweetwater come, that coast, the Gulf Coast, gonna get smacked soon as Nibiru gets far enough out of the position of the orbit to be pulling on the equator, drawing all that water from the underground sources back through back channels to suck it out to the equator. That shit coming back. When that shit come back, it's gonna be a tidal wave running down a dry ass Mississippi. It's gonna be a motherfucking tidal wave rolling up on the Gulf from that water being returned. And we already had the hurricane hit Mexico today. We had an earthquake hit California. The matriarchs is rump shaking this bitch on the motherfucking sway of the matriarch shakes the land, and the crooked man continue to walk, right? And just when they thought that he was a man on ice, he turned out to be a soul on fire. He is the shocker, a.k.a. the crooked man walking. That's Big Tukey. Angel 44 Blue flipped to Chief Malik Angel Bay, Angel 44 Red, out of Chicago, the city of Thebes, which is Thebes in ancient Egypt. And the city of Thebes is the home of the birthplace of Tahuti on the west side, because that's where his mother got her motherfucking rank and title from Big Mama from putting in work with outlaw vice lord bikers back in the 50s. So if you don't know who the outlaw bikers is, then you don't know who the vice lords is. You'll never understand who the Disciple Nation or the motherfucking Peace Stone Nation really is. And the knot came in, Peace Stone's on deck, right? Angel Bay got his soldiers all on alert, Mufti status. Motherfucking Black Fez is on a red alert to take the fezes of all of the imposters and put them at the mercy of the feathers. We won, they lost, and Black Girl Magic say, why they mad? You should have never put yourself in the position to be bullied by a bully trying to bully motherfuckers. Because I'm the bully to the bullies. I'm the bully beater. So when you come in trying to bully my people, I'm just going to bully your ass with my superior position to right, telling the goddamn truth, cutting your ass with a two-edged sword. That's a motherfucking truth cut both ways. A cut going in, cut going out. So when y'all did the bullshit, yeah, we know how to clean that shit up. One drop of blood, motherfucker. We clean that shit up. But at the same time, at the close of the motherfucking age, when we get done cleaning this shit up and we prove that we know what the fuck we talking about, and we know how to tune the new children into the frequency of the earth so that they can have a chance to rule and develop into a higher species or quality of being, so that they can have the right to ascend by assimilating a one drop of blood from all of the royal families. Once y'all understand that, y'all understand that each one of the royal families come from a star constellation within the 12 signs of the zodiac, commissioned to come to earth to serve a purpose. The Deros comes from the constellation of the Tauros, the obese elephant nose ones. Those ones come from there. The motherfucking Danakiel, the motherfucking big forehead, right? That comes from the what's called the royal unicorn. Unicorn constellation, and they always come anytime Big Mama need them. So then you have your Teros, the cone heads, right? And these motherfuckers with that long ass motherfucking head, they had no problem bringing that peanut ass head down here to contribute one drop of blood on the zodiac flip to get these motherfuckers right? And they come from the nation, right? And then the Dwanis, the dwarfs, the little motherfucking gnomes, right? The little furry motherfuckers with Herschelitism looking like Cousin It. They come from Canis Minor, whereas your Bigfoot, which we call Enkiduites, the children of Enkidu, because they told Enki just do what Enki do, and he thought that was his name when he got here. So he said, When they asked him his name, what he was coming here for, he thought they was asking his name, and he said, "Do what Inky do." So his name became Enkidu as a joke. And then that's talking about your Wookiees, your Chewbacca, your Bigfoot, your Gigantolopithecus of the Far East. We talking about Australorobustus of your African continent, right? And your Gigantolopithecus and all of these that come from over here. Right, so they got this fossil remains. They just telling y'all they're coming from different places, so they know what they're doing by misleading the people, by teaching this false slave narrative, never letting them know they was at a perpetual, protracted struggle of war, and that they don't think according to the rules of war. You'll never figure out your way out of the trap. But once you understand the rules of war, you can see everybody moves and why they making them, because it's just like a board game. Once you understand the rules of war, right? Then you understand why you can't get money while you at war, because you in a warlock. The warlock's the financial coffers so that you don't be exposed to looting of your coffers. So the pharaohs already know, no matter what these motherfuckers do, pharaoh money, the longest money on this bitch. They talking about old money, bitch. We got ancient money. We got money that go back to the foundation of the creation of this planet you call Earth, formerly known as Tiamat or Queen Mother Kai. So if you don't understand what's taking place, then you need to sit your ass down and watch the Earthborn show you how it's done. All it is a simple redemption process to overthrow the admiralty law on the land, operating as the law of the land in a de facto capacity, while the de jure come in in a ipso facto capacity as a rightful heir, and start telling motherfuckers what to do, and motherfuckers start making moves. And the moves had to be made in order for the pieces to be shuffled around on the chessboard in order to set the oppressor up to take the L, because the L that they flipped, that they thought they was giving us a loss, they was only flipping me sevens to crooked man walk across the land with the big man, Big Tookie. And if these motherfuckers don't understand how the crooked man walk across the land, it ain't no sense of studying the candy man, because the candy man is from another land, and that's the land in the city of thieves. So if you don't understand the candy man, then don't be chanting for Bloody Mary, because Bloody Mary gonna come when you call Bloody Bone Mary, you gonna get your dozen. You see? So Tupac was like, Candy Man, I better roll on your ass like an avalanche. That's because the name had to have 3 syllables, 3 M's. Morpheus Mysticus Magus, the emissary of light, the redeemer of the righteous, coming to give y'all free knowledge to ignite y'all minds so that y'all can make y'all 5th dimensional ascension without the obstacles put in your path by a low vibrational, low frequency, non-producing entity called a straw man, represented as a government in contradiction to your best interest and directly hostile to your greatest good. And if you don't understand you at war, and you don't understand that we all been at war, and that we ain't never gave up, and we ain't never signed no treaties with these motherfuckers, they brought motherfuckers over here to pretend and masquerade to be us in order to sign treaties. They even made presidential decree chiefs. The president can't make no motherfucking chief, because the chief got to be the most loved, most respected against all the motherfuckers on the land. Wherever he go, all of the motherfuckers with juice love that nigga. And he become the most loved and the most respected. Then he be get his chief status when he continue to bump straight off of the left and the right. And then the motherfucker know he ain't for no games. And when they know he ain't for no games, and they stop sending these motherfucking lames to try to wrinkle up his $5 suit, because he made that motherfucker look good. Because it take $1 million nigga and make a $5 look suit look like a goddamn $1,500 suit, tailor made, properly cut. Y'all don't know nothing about that shit. That's called living off the fat of the land, making do with what you got, taking what's in front of you and formulating it to what you need in order to accomplish the task at hand. Mama say take the stones they throw at you and build a motherfucking castle. And when I built the castle, I was just in the cave of the ancients trying to contemplate the nature of the beast. And once I understood the nature of the beast, I knew where he was coming from, trying to devour the star from the east. That dragon bitch is not getting in, because I'm going to slay that motherfucking heifer at every turn. She can't get past me. I don't give a fuck who she Buffalo. I can't be Buffalo and I won't be moved. I stand firm in my position, feet locked in the dirt. I hold on to this motherfucking North Pole shit because I'm a motherfucking NWO Northside motherfucking original cousin crew gangster off of this motherfucking North Side of Pontiac. That's Chief Pontiac to you motherfuckers who don't know. And since you don't know, I recommend I tell you so you can try to keep up. But if you can't keep up, don't worry, you're going to figure it out in the end, because in the end, that's just how y'all going to understand when I tell you, well, I'm only going to motherfucking do the job if I'm going to win. And I know I'm going to win because I'm the baddest motherfucker ever born. And if I'm the baddest motherfucker ever born, then I was the greatest swear ever sworn, because they conjured my ass up. And when they conjured my ass up, they knew they was fucking up, because this motherfucker can't be moved, and he don't give a fuck what you say and how you feel, and fuck your feelings when I'm telling the truth. Now, when I'm telling the truth, I don't give a fuck where you come from. You can try to disgrace me and pull me down and talk about me and slice my name and all that shit. I don't give a fuck. Because at the end of the day, I'm going to tell the truth. I'm going to stand in the position of right, and I'm going to always be victorious. Because I come forth and proceed from the right hand of Mother Earth, a.k.a. the state murder mitten, here to slap you right across your motherfucking face into the land of darkness and the dismal abyss, because you motherfuckers don't belong here in the first place. Now, that's a Detroit versus everybody, because Yaktown don't back down, and we going to bust your head and bust your ass in the head with a Flintstone, right? So if you don't get this motherfucking message straight, you're going to straight get the message. At the end of the day, it is what we say. We back for every motherfucking thing they owe, no longer oppressed. We about to overthrow these motherfuckers right in their motherfucking face without them being able to say nothing about it. Because by right and by position of right and by the highest jurisdiction of the de jure capacity, I got the right to tell these motherfuckers to get off the land. And guess what I told them? Beat it, bitch. You can't stay here. I don't care where you go, high or low, left or right. But it's one thing is, you won't be sleeping here tonight. Get your motherfucking ass to stepping. And I say high stepping, motherfucker. Run with your knees up. Because if one of them motherfuckers get too low, I'm going to bop your motherfucking leg and flip your ass motherfucking 50 flips with this motherfucking AK when it's just the spring. You motherfuckers don't understand. This is a spoken word that every nigga heard. When the shit gets served, the shit gets served. You put it on the platter, mix it with the batter, bring it up, and this shit be crispy than a motherfucker. Y'all don't understand what I'm saying. You don't know how to fry chicken. But I can tell you one thing, this chicken gonna be finger licking. That's good. It is, as KFC would say. That was back in the day when they used to be Kentucky Fried, but now they just KFC because they can't see fucking K. And if you can't see K, then you can't fuck with me, because I know that K is the middle, and the middle is the initial of the K, and the K is the 11 on the flip. And if the K is the 11, then the 9 is the dog, and the dog is the familiar, and the familiar is flipped off the knock to the knockback, off a zigzag zig. And put your motherfucking dog in the fight if you think your man can handle the plan. And she thought her man could handle the plan, so she kicked him in the fight. She don't know this motherfucking blue pit bull don't back down. Even if he is a fucking prairie dog, he's still a goddamn Papa Bear. And Papa Bear just so happened to turn out to be a gorilla, because a gorilla is the patriarch that watches over the matriarch while she watches over the children. And as long as she watching over the children, I can take the left bump, because the left bump don't bother me as long as I know that the love is true. Because if the love is true, it belongs to you, it's going to always come back. That's when they say, if you love something, let it go. If it come back, it was meant to be. And it's always going to come back around, because you got to go out the same way you came in. That's how you play the game of life. And in the game of life, it's a Plutarchy. It's a board game, but you got to be. Times it's an operation. Just don't touch the sides or you'll hit the buzzer. But if you hit the buzzer, don't worry, they'll lock down the school. You know what I'm saying? If they lock down the school, that means they can't get to you, right? So they have to catch the shooter. And if they catch the shooter, then the shooter will flip out off the 9/11. And the 9/11 flips the shooter, and the shooter in St. Louis, the St. Louis shooter is in the school. And the St. Louis shooter that's in the school is flipping out because he want to spray around shit, right? But he don't understand, because he had a longer plan than what the motherfucking man allowed him to continue, because you can't go on, continue doing wrong, because mama say somebody gonna knock your ass right. So you continue to do right, and you be the motherfucker that knocked the wrong back on his motherfucking path. Somebody got to be the big dog in this shit to stand up and put down the bullshit. I'm just saying, on my motherfucking watch, we don't do no sacrifices. You get your merits, get your merits up and your demerits. You're going to put in the work, and then you're going to get out the proceeds. If you're going to find the harmony in the relationship, you can balance out and create the best life that you ever had. But you got to be willing to put in the work. If you ain't willing to put in the work, you ain't going to never get past when it start to hurt. Because if you don't put in the work, you can't tolerate the hurt because you haven't built up the strength to endure to the end. And Mama said the race don't always go to the swift. Sometimes it go to the slow and steady. So if my legs are steady like Freddie, then I can do the fast Freddie up the aisle. Now that's a scene flip because they changed the name of that town from Motown to Geek Town when it was time to throw down. And when it was Geek Town, they laid down that jit shit. And they was jit shitting all across the city on their Mardi Gras flip in order for a motherfucker to see the coldest jitters that ever jitted the jit in the Detroit set. And then once you understand that that's the conjure language of the land, the jit for Detroit is the same as the C walk for LA and the B walk for the motherfucking Bay. And when you put this motherfucking shit together, that's a rain dance, I say. You got the motherfucking thunder and the lightning, you got the motherfucking rain and the clouds. And when you get it putting that motherfucking shit down and these honeys shaking their hips. Now that's the sway of the matriarch, where if motherfucker don't act right by the time it get dark, the land starts to shake and quake and show you motherfuckers that these sisters don't play. Now with 7 sisters of destruction, but destruction is always the most beautiful destruction you ever seen. So while you about to go to your death, you are awestruck with the artistic capability of Mother Nature and her 7 sisters of destruction to come through and give you the most beautiful color motherfucking story array that you ever seen in your life in nature. And then they're gonna tear your ass up. Now, I already warned these motherfuckers, and they thought I was bullshitting, that if you can't match the frequency, they was going to turn your DNA off. And when they turn your DNA off, I don't care where the fuck you at, you going to drop dead where you stand. And it's nothing personal. It's just that you got to understand you got to be from the land. And if you ain't from the land, she turning off your DNA if you can't sink to the earth. So all of these motherfuckers, you call it a motherfucking adult sudden death syndrome or whatever, or SUDS or SADS or whatever the fuck you want to call it. But at the end of the day, if they can't match the frequency, they can't stay here. It ain't nothing personal. It's just strictly family business. It's time to clean grandma's house. Because Big Mama said, don't leave no stone unturned. So everywhere I find these motherfuckers, high or low, inside or out, left or right, front or back, wherever I go, flip these motherfuckers out in the open so they can squash these bugs under their feet and we can go and get the parasites out the mix. That's talking about purging the imposters. As Kanye say, we are Jews, but we the real jewels. And them motherfuckers over there are Jewish. That's kind of like a Jew, but they ain't really true. See, you got to understand the part of the plan where they came from when they came to your land. They used blood shields and sacrifice to block the colors of the motherfucking law. And once they blocked the color to the motherfucking law, you couldn't see what was before your face because you couldn't see the forest for the trees. But if you always remember, the forest exactly what it said it is, it wears hearts on its sleeve. So if the forest is what it said it is, it's obviously what you see is what you saw, and what you see is what you get. And if you could get the truth will set you free. But you first got to know how to utilize it to turn the key. The key to the truth is tell that motherfucker everywhere you go and stand in the position of right. And every day and every night, the motherfucker gonna wish they knew the shit that you knew so that they could do the things that you do and overcome the obstacles that they see you overcome. Even though they don't tell you they respect you, they're gonna have to bow down in the end. They don't have to love me, but they still could be my friend. I understand it's about the love and the respect, but sometimes the respect is all you can get because a motherfucker got too much hate to give you the love. And it's a thin line between love and hate. And if you cross that thin line and still bump straight, that means that you can walk the Siddhasta King. That's the straight and narrow way for a motherfucking king. And only a few can ascend because only a few are the righteous, and the righteous are few in number. And the motherfucking earth shall be inherited by the meek, and the meek is the alfeminate, and the alfeminate is the feminine, and feminine is the women, and the women are the ones to raise the matriarchy. Because when you put the shit the way it go, the machine run the way it's supposed to be run, and that's the most efficient way to run a government. And if you run it the most efficient way it was meant to run, then it's going to run as smooth as it was supposed to be running. And if it runs as smooth as it want to be running, then the people that's listening, that's falling into the governmental structure of the matriarchy is only going to be able to produce their best life because there is no other options but in order to live in prosperity, truth, love, and happiness. And if you don't want to live in prosperity, truth, love, and happiness, you can't stay here because we're going to be vibrating on the wrong frequency and we're going to agitate your demons, and your demons going to torment your ass for staying in the midst of all of these motherfuckers throwing Mardi Gras across the land from coast to motherfucking coast everywhere.
and draw that wisdom from them. They there for a reason. Losing this fight for a reason, because you can't learn the required lessons to feed the youth victory if you have never been defeated. So yeah, Farrakhan took
there. What you doing in? Is he in there? But we're not trying to get. We're trying to get the imposter out. We're trying to get the imposter out. See him up in there? I'm not bullshitting. I'm not. They told me where the devil was at. Right? Waiting to devour the sun. You see that dragon? Identify him. That's the portal of life. It's all symbolism, but it's to teach a spiritual lesson. But you can see, when the wisest man in the world come, everybody else got to figure this shit out. I'm going to show you where to find it. I'm going to show you where to find it as I find it. Where is he? That's the uterus. The Baphomet is a uterus, remember? You can't make this shit up. This is real life. So now that we didn't reveal who the beast, where the beast was hiding at, it's the Pope. It's the papal bull. Remember? Osiris had to slay the bull. What did he have to slay him with? Right? He had to slay him with the arrow. I am the golden arrow in native culture. I'm from the silver bow. I'm showing y'all this. Look. You can't hide nothing from me. I'm going to find it every time. Now, this is for the PhD. So now, I still got to show you the one like unto the Son of Man. Now, if I'm the Son of Man, there got to be some similitude. Something got to be similar in physical appearance, and he got to have on a... So now, this is leading me down the trail. At the end of this video, I got to be able to produce the sound of the A tone being correctly intonated, and it got to match all of the signs at the end of this presentation. I got to walk you from what Farrakhan said, that when you hear the A tone, you will be at one. You're going to hear the right sound from the one God. Look, before you know who God is, you got to know who the devil is. They write it in Egypt, man know thyself. Right? Man know thyself. Look, I'm showing it to you. I'm showing it to you in real time. As I pull it up, I'm showing it to you. Now, let's go. I done tied all of the nations together. Where is it at? Where is it at? Where is it at? Hold on. I don't want to go this route. Okay, look. Now this is on my bed. This is I didn't even realize this was the family crest. This is the blood ties. Now let me show you what it looked like for real. Over here. Now, I went over where everything was, except the backdrop. This is the two bears. This is my son and my daughter. This is Michaela, and this is Jeremy. This is my clan totem tribe. This is the direct positioning of the tattoos for the blood right. Right here. But this is her. So now, remember, I have to show y'all Sophia, because wisdom, Ein Sof, is what I got to produce. Ein Sof. Now, look at here. This is Sophia. This is the wise woman. This is the wisdom that Solomon sought so dearly. This is the wise woman. Right here. The one that established the blood right. See, this is the blade. Look, this is showing you the connection to the gods and earths. This is showing you the connection. I went over all that already. These are things that I picked up in my travels impulsively. None of this was playing. Look, the young maiden. The young maiden. Now, my mother, Scotta, my Irish right, the redhead princess. I told y'all, my mama is the redhead princess, and y'all think I'm playing. And when she got older, her hair began to fade, it became gray. My mama hair began to gray as she got older. Right? She was the one. This is why you don't see a wine glass up here, because she is the Holy Grail. She is the one who carried the Holy Seed. This was Scotta. So now this is my mother right here. This is the Vice Lord. See, because you need the two women to confirm him. Needed the two women to confirm him. But out of the father's line, he had to be able to draw King Arthur's sword. My father's name is Arthur. Remember that. Right? But the struggle with the self, the bondages of the 7 chakras being bound by the curse that broke up the family. So then the chain broke on his own. On his own. Right? Accept that. But in the course of my journey, you know, I had to acquire, because it say in there that I would get the key of life. Endure to the end, and I would receive the key of life. I put the whole family back together. Keep the game. Now, I had this takes me to Putin in Russia, because I had to conquer Thor. And this is my Norse connection for the Norse tribes. My Vikings, that the Moors were the navigators for, that concealed the secret. Jacques de Monet, that died at the hands of the French, which tied me to Adolf Hitler, who had legitimate grievances against the French when he was attacked. But still, I had to be the black stone. The stone that the builder rejected has to be the chief cornerstone. So I collected that in Chicago. That's Jeff Ford gave me that. Let my people go. Right? I just showed y'all all of the rest of the stuff. Now I got to show you the man with the 7 candlesticks and the 7 stars in his hand, with the gown to his waist, and he's packed in gold, and he's like unto the Son of Man. And this would be this, because I'm in search of the A-tone. That's my clue. This was my clue where to find the A-tone. I had to find the A-tone to bring us all together. Right? The black ones and the white ones. The Hispanic ones and the Asian ones. The tall ones and the short ones. The fat ones and the skinny ones. The smart ones and the dumb ones. The healthy ones and the sick ones. The strong ones and the weak ones. I had to go through all this. I had to put it all on the line. Right? So this is your revelation of Jesus Christ. This is what God gave unto him to show and signify to his faithful servant, me. God wants us to restore family structure. This is what the science is telling me. I still got some receipts to do, because remember, as above, so below. I have to prove to y'all with the receipts of the day that I did everything I said I was going to do. I did everything according to the rules given to me across all disciplines, not just one. So now I have to write the receipt. Right? Now my day started out with a con artist attempting to con me. Okay? Which resulted in a receipt on what you call a 50-50 transfer. Right? Tupac took care of the 40-40 transfer. His seat is seat 40. Mine seat 50. Right? So now, that's Malachi Z. York. That's Malachi Z. York. He brought me the A-tone. And the A-tone is in this right here. This song, which this tape is non-functional at the moment because I don't have a working cassette player. But never fear. As a true general, there's always a way to win the battle. Thanks to my sisters out there, because y'all should stand up soldiers. Now, this right here is the final piece to the puzzle, because remember, Farrakhan said, the one that came to y'all and sounded off the A tone is when all of us will finally have one person that will make everybody the same. No big eyes,
No little U's. This is what they talking about. This is what the struggle was all about. So it all got to be explained in the end, right? God, once I got it there to the highest heights of wisdom and met God, God said make a family. God didn't say make a black family, a white family, a Hispanic family. God said make a family. I have to teach y'all how to build families and build them again, just like I had to build this family crest that I did not realize was a family crest until I realized it was a family crest, so to speak. And so there will be no breaking of the blood, right? My mama told me to leave that intact. So that ties all of us together. Putin, stand up, Moscow. Y'all can let them know now. It's all here. Now, I want to go back and point this out.